Israel's main deity, the all capital Lord, works with their right hand, their high priest within their heavenly sanctuary, their Lord all capital God, for a very specific purpose. A specific purpose against the priesthood, for the priesthood. Let's see this tandem at work. Isaiah 3:14-17. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. You have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What do you mean that you beat my people to pieces and grind their faces? Why, says who? The Lord all capital God. But now, moreover, thus saith the all capital Lord again. Notice that switch. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty, walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, not I, the all capital Lord. This is not them. This is the all capital God. This is the Lord all capital God who will fulfill the mission against this priesthood. And the Lord all capital God through them will discover their secret parts. There is a purpose that the Lord all capital Lord and their right hand, their high priest, this is evident Bible mythology. They're working together against the priesthood, for the priesthood. They need to do something for the priesthood, and in order to do that, they have to do it against the priesthood, because the priesthood is their enemy. You see, the priesthood should be mirroring what's going on in the priesthood above. There is a high priest above. That is the Lord all capital God. What's going on below is not mirroring what's going on above, and so what's going on below has to be handled. How? Why? What's pushing this tandem? What's pushing these two to work for themselves? Back into the Bible. Isaiah 6:1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also who sitting on their throne. This isn't the all capital Lord. We have to see this. This is the Lord all capital God. We know this because it says also. In the year that Uzziah died, I also saw. There are two thrones. Lord all capital Lord has his throne in the heavenly sanctuary in what is called the most holy place. The Lord all capital God has his throne. And his throne isn't a throne similar to that of the one in the most holy place. It is the throne of both high priest and the throne of executor. In the year that Uzziah died, I saw this one. I saw this one on his throne also. Why? What happened? What happened with Uzziah? Chronicles. 2 Chronicles 26:16. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against the Lord his God and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of incense. Now this one act of the king defies the entire structure of the realm above, of their mythological realm above. The Lord, all capital Lord, is supposed to represent this Uzziah. The Lord, all capital God, is supposed to have his representatives below, in the high priest and in the ones that are around the high priest. When the one on the throne defaces what's going on with the high priest, what's going on above is being violated. And when what's going on above is being violated, when the portrait of what's going on above is being violated, well, the ones above now have to do something. The ones above now have to do something about what's going on below. What's going on below is the king is defacing the priesthood, taking on a responsibility that he should not, and in so doing, taking on a name that the ones above do not dare take on themselves. It's no different than in the book of Daniel. Daniel 7:25 and 26. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, think to change times and laws, that they should be given into his hand until times and the dividing of time. But the judgment against this figure shall sit. They shall take away this figure's dominion, to consume and to destroy this figure unto the end. Uzziah's offense is quite similar. Much is similar to this offense of the fourth beast, who fulfills the reactionary the reaction of the host above. 2 Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalteth himself, Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, or so that he as God sitteth in the throne in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This is what Uzziah was doing. Now, when Uzziah is doing this, in the days and the years and the season of this behavior, I also saw the Lord God sitting upon his throne. Why? Because when you see that figure also, you're supposed to understand that they are going to kill you. That's what the vision represents. And that's what the rest of Isaiah 6 is about. What this vision and this figure mean. Isaiah 2:11 and 12, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. This is what Isaiah 6 is about. When you see that Lord, all capital God in vision, this is what's happening. In one phrase, day of the Lord. Day of the Lord. It says day of the all capital Lord, but the one executing that day, that season, that time, that period, the Lord, all capital God. And they're not doing it themselves physically, because that's not how this works. They are stirring up extraterrestrially, supernaturally, cosmically, cartoonishly, the energy of the world ruling empire to destroy the land for them. And not necessarily the land for them, the priesthood for them, because the priesthood is the ultimate enemy to the figures above. When the priesthood doesn't behave, priesthood must get executed. The executor of the priesthood's judgment, of the land's judgment, is the Lord, all capital God. The one who accepts the prayers that are occurring through the priesthood on the earth is that same figure, the Lord, all capital God, who sifts through the prayers, who goes through the prayers, takes the prayers and brings them to their all capital Lord God for certification. That's his role. That's his role. And when the priest is doing wrong, it needs to be handled. His role is to also handle it. But it's not to handle it for no reason. There is a reason, very specific. Kill the priesthood to resurrect the priesthood. Now, even though there is destruction imminent, I see also on his throne the Lord, all capital God. This is a signifier of incoming doom, impending judgment. Even though impending judgment is seen, and this vision is supposed to allow us to know that, there is still yet mercy. Isaiah 5:24 and 25. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the anger of the Lord is kindled against this people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them. And the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Again, Psalm 110, the one that controls the carcasses in this scene. This is the Lord, all capital God, the one at the right hand of the all capital Lord. Again, this is their mythology. 2025, this is mystical to us maybe. So we need to go to the text, right? If this is what we're concerned with, and know it. When we see that figure standing, destruction, the Lord, all capital God, is impending and will happen. Yet, mercy is apparent. Mercy is for you. Even though I'm doing this to you, I don't want to do this to you, but I need to do this to you because of your offspring. Your offspring is the one I'm concerned about, because they don't know the evil that is in your heart. So when I can kill you, and I will so do in a way that will spare your offspring, so that I can then have a shoot to myself, so that my name and the name of the one that I minister on behalf of in our heavenly sanctuary, within your mythology, can be verified in the kind of manner of worship that we are demanding of you below us on the planet Earth. Because the denomination has been foul. Isaiah 59. 59:12-14. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. The author is not speaking about himself. The author is speaking about himself and also connected to the environment that he is in. This is the priesthood. To the Bible's mind, Genesis to Malachi, sinners, all belong within the class of priesthood. Let's continue. In transgressing and lying against the Lord and departing away from our God, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backward, justice standeth afar off, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. All, these are not regular citizens. These are not people walking in the streets. All, this is leadership, religious leadership, play a part in this consumption. All, religious leadership. The Bible's condemnation is not against individuals walking on the street, sitting in their living room, working in their places of employment. This is about religious leadership. All religious leadership plays a part in the consumption that is decreed, because only the religious leadership has the responsibility of mirroring and mimicking what goes on in the heavenly sanctuary. They're failing. And even though they're failing, there is still one. There is supposed to be still one that has sense enough to do something and to know what to do about it. Nehemiah 9:34-35. Neither have our kings, our princes, priests, fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thy testimonies wherewith thou didst testify against them. For they have not served thee in their kingdom, and in thy greatness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land which thou gavest before them. Neither turn they from their wicked works. This is the main character from Isaiah 53 that we're reading. Nehemiah fulfills Isaiah 53's main character. Everything that they go through, Nehemiah fulfills it. Still, Nehemiah 9:33. Howbeit, thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Nehemiah 1:8-9. Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commanded thy servant Moses, and saying, if you transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. But if you turn to me, keep my commandments and do them, though you were cast out and scattered, yet I will gather them from thence and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Isaiah 53, Nehemiah, Isaiah 53 and Amos. Going into the book of Amos 7:4. Thus saith the Lord, all capital G-O-D. Thus hath the Lord, all capital G-O-D, showed me, and behold, he, Lord, all capital G-O-D, called to contend by fire, because that's his role, and it devoured the great deep, because that's its role, and did eat up a part. Then I said to the Lord, all capital G-O-D, stop, please. Who will Jacob arise from out of if you keep doing this? But now look who repented. There's a switch. The all capital L-O-R-D repented for this. Why? This also shall not be, saith the Lord, all capital G-O-D. The tandem is working. The tandem is working. The one that wants to kill you is the Lord, all capital L-O-R-D. He wants to kill you. He put a hit out on you. You meaning priesthood. He put a hit out on you. The hit man is the Lord, all capital G-O-D. And yet one arises. A Nehemiah, a Jeremiah, an Ezekiel. We're seeing here an Amos, to get into the ear of their deity, to call off the hit, or to make the blow not as much it should, as heavy or as decisive as it should be. One among them does this. This is what Isaiah 53 is about. The one among them. Again, this isn't a Messiah figure. This isn't a Jesus character. This isn't the nation of Israel. That's not what is on the mind of these authors. A Nehemiah is on their mind. A Jeremiah is on their mind. An Ezekiel is on their mind. A Daniel is on their mind. An Isaiah. Who shall we send? Send me, he says in chapter 6 of his book, Isaiah 6. This is the character. And there's always one that is and will always stand out at this specific contextual time. This is what the deities of Israel are looking for.
Step beyond traditional religious teachings and uncover a revolutionary perspective on Jesus' mission. Dawn of Devotion dismantles the belief that his death holds supernatural benefits for humanity and instead reveals a deeper philosophical purpose, one that challenges religious law and inspires sincere devotional growth. This book exposes the flaws in institutionalized religion, showing how Jesus' sacrifice was a bold statement against division and control by religion. Rather than reinforcing religious traditions, his message encouraged discipline and experience, calling for a personal devotion rooted in discovery, not obligation. If you're ready to rethink Jesus' role in history and explore the true meaning of devotion, Dawn of Devotion is your guide. Embrace freedom from religious tradition and rediscover your belief. Get your copy today and step into the dawn of a new understanding.
The author writing Isaiah understands the mercy that this one character gives to the priesthood. They understand that it is them that allows mercy and not for the then existing priesthood because they need to be killed. This is for the offspring. This is for the offshoot. This is for what is called the quote-unquote remnant. This is the, and always in context, remnant priesthood. This is always for them when that one speaks up and speaks out for the mercy intended. But it will still happen into the Bible. Hosea 5:10-14. The princes of Judah were like them that remove the bound. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment because he willingly walked after the commandment. Therefore will I be unto Ephraim as a moth, and to the house of Judah as rottenness. When Ephraim saw his wickedness, and Judah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrian, and sent to King Jareb. Yet could he not heal you, nor cure you of your wound. For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. I, even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue them. Ephraim and Judah, Israel and Judah, Samaria and Jerusalem. The hit is out. The hit is out because they have violated what goes on above. There's no mercy for them. This generation of priests. Micah 3, 9-12. Hear this, I pray you, you heads of the house of Jacob and princes of the house of Israel that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. See who this is about. This isn't about normal, casual people. There's no condemnation against normal, casual people because normal, casual people don't have the kind of responsibility that is here intended. Verse 10, they build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? No evil can come unto us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall be heaps, and the mountains of the house as the high places of the forest. This is necessary because from out of this, a new birth is supposed to take place. Out of the death of the priesthood, due to the cries of that one, the rise and the resurrection of a new priesthood is supposed to take place. Malachi 3:3-4. And he shall sit as the refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify who? The priesthood. Purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, as in the former years. The Bible's narrative is very clear. Resurrection, creation. This is all the Bible is concerned with, right? Yet in linguistic and philosophical context, and also cultural linguistic context, its main concern is the formation of denomination, especially the denomination of priesthood. Exodus 19:4-6. You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure. Then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people, for all the earth is mine. You shall be unto me a what? A kingdom of priests. A holy nation. This isn't holy as in whatever you imagine that to be. This is holy as in the sense of an offering priesthood community nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. This is the righteousness of Israel's deity. This is their righteousness. This is their salvation. This is their deliverance. Their righteousness, their salvation, their deliverance is in oppressing the priesthood for the purpose of destroying the priesthood out, and then for the intention of resurrecting from out of those ashes a new priesthood. A new priesthood. This is the intention of these two, the Lord, all capital G-O-D, and the all capital L-O-R-D, God, working together. This is their main intention. That's all they care about. Bible's narrative shows that this is all they care about concerning creation, redemption, deliverance, resurrection, salvation, righteousness. This is it. There's nothing more or less than this concerning the Lord, all capital L-O-R-D, and the Lord, G-O-D, of the host of Israel. No matter what happens, the resurrection of priesthood is the intended goal. Zechariah, just to see this. Zechariah 13:8-9, and it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. I will bring the third part through the fire. I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name. I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. They shall say, the Lord is my God. This is the same language from Malachi. So we already understand who this context is about. This is about the sons of Levi. This is about the priesthood. 2 parts are to be cut off and die. One is to remain. That's that remnant priesthood. The entire point of the 2 working together, the Lord, all capital G-O-D, and the all capital L-O-R-D, is for the purpose of killing the priesthood to resurrect the priesthood. And the point of that main character of Isaiah 53 is to stir enough cosmic cartoonish energy for these 2 to have mercy onto the priesthood to preserve the priesthood via resurrecting them. And so this leads into a very blatant reality, a realization that the student of the Bible's words, the one wanting to understand the concept of the Bible's philosophy, needs to accept. And on a certain level. And it is that the Bible, in a sense, does not care and has no intention of caring for. In this context, in this vein of thought, as we're seeing the illustration pointed out, the creation, the formation of the natural human being. Bible can care less about that. The illustration in Genesis chapter 2 is not in relation to the natural formation of the human being. Everything that we have been reviewing in these past episodes and at this present time, it explains the vision in Genesis chapter 2 concerning that Adam being formed out of the ground or out of the dust of the ground. That language is not literal. It's figurative. Again, everything we have been seeing here is that illustration. The illustration is vague. Scripture explains the vagueness of that. We have to admit this to ourselves because this is how the all capital L-O-R-D of Israel works. Not for forming literal human beings. They can care less about that. It is about forming priesthoods. Jeremiah 18:5-6. Then the word of the Lord came to me saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter, saith the Lord? Behold, as the clay in the potter's hand, so are you in my hand, O house of Israel. This is their main concern, being a potter to a house. House is figurative language for church, for denomination. Ezekiel 20:33-38. As I live, save the Lord, all capital G-O-D, surely with a mighty hand, with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. I will bring you from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and fury poured out. I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face. I mentioned before, who is the one that did the Exodus? Well, we have the answer here. Very plain. This is the Lord, all capital G-O-D. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord, all capital G-O-D. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of covenant. I will purge out from among you the rebels, priesthood, and them that transgress against me, priesthood. I will bring them forth out of the country wherein they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know, now this is the switch. You shall know that I am the Lord, the all capital L-O-R-D. Priesthood. The intention is not creating anything natural. The intention is not creating anything biological. It may seem strange to us in 2025, but the Bible's concept does not care about this. The Bible's concept cares about the creation, the ratification, the justification, and the employment of denominations, of priesthood. That's it. When the priesthood is not right, the priesthood gets killed. Yet there is yet mercy for a sure group within there to spare them. The enemies are the priesthood. Isaiah 1. Isaiah 1, 24-26. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, and look at the switch. The Lord, now the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies, the priesthood. I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away all thy dross and take away all thy tin. Language from Zechariah, language from Malachi. We should be able to understand who this is about. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, priesthood, and thy counselors as at the beginning, priesthood. Afterwards thou shalt be called, after I prune and purge you, the city of righteousness, the faithful city. The resurrection and the formation of the priesthood is only on the mind of Israel's deity. Mercy is extended from Israel's deity because they understand their intentions. From out of the ashes of the priesthood, a new priesthood is supposed to be formed. This is the illustration from Genesis. This is the dust of the ground forming, quote-unquote, man. In reality, in linguistic context, that quote-unquote man is not an individual human being. It is plural. This is the illustration here because the connotation is yet still toward priesthood. Isaiah 9, 14-17. Therefore the Lord will cut off from the head of Israel, from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day. Ancient and honorable, he is the head. Prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err. They that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore, who? We started off in verse 14 with the all capital L-O-R-D saying that he's going to cut them off, but who's going to actually do this? Verse 17, the Lord, all capital G-O-D, will do this and have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows, for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. And every mouth speaketh folly. This is not every mouth as in every normal casual citizen in the land. This has everything and is only constrained to the priesthood. And yet for all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Even though destruction is here, even though I will kill you, my mercy is yet still toward you. And that you is in context because I'm going to kill a majority of you, but I'm going to spare your offspring that don't know the evils that have come from out of your heart. Destruction is imminent. I'm not going to stop. But I'm going to hear the pleadings of one, should they arise. And because of the pleadings of that one, should they arise, I'm going to spare a part of you. Not for your sake, but for my name's sake. We read previously in one of our episodes of Justification, for how should I let my name continually be defiled by you? This is the case of these two, the Lord all capital G-O-D and the all capital L-O-R-D working together.
Ever wondered how to truly connect with the Bible? In just 60 seconds, you'll discover a unique way to deepen your faith. Knowing Bible is a course crafted to bring you closer to the Bible and yourself. Tailored to fit your learning goals, it offers a personal journey. Through readings, reflections, and interactive classroom dynamics, you'll grow spiritually. Assignments are designed to give you space for personal devotion. This course helps you envision a devotional experience that truly suits you. Imagine a course that meets you where you are and takes you deeper. Don't miss this chance to transform your spiritual life. Click the link in the description for more information.
This is how Israel's deity defines their righteousness. They control destroyer. They control deliverer. They control destroyer. They control deliverer. The destroyer and the deliverer are both termed the same as being the arm of the Lord 𝐎𝐴𝐷. This is their righteousness, to oppress you and then to deliver you, to cause your oppression, to cause your deliverance. In between causing your depression and causing your deliverance, I am expecting you to cry out to me. And if you're not going to cry out to me, I'm expecting one to do so. And if that one can do so, according to my liking and according to my standard, I, as the deity of Israel, will not so burden the priesthood as intended, even though you deserve it. I'm going to yet kill you, but I'm going to spare a bunch for myself, because they will see what I have done. They will understand the lesson. They will have it in their heart to regard me as I need to be regarded and to worship me as I need to be worshipped. This is what needs to happen, because no other way for my regard can this take place. We see this logic playing out in Ezekiel concerning those dry bones. Ezekiel 37:11-14. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. We get our answers, right? Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. The Lord 𝐎𝐴𝐷 has killed us. We don't know what to do now. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord 𝐎𝐴𝐷, oh, my people, listen, I will open your graves, cause you to come up from your graves, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. I will be the source of your resurrection. Verse 13, you will know that I am the Lord. Well, I thought you were the Lord 𝐎𝐴𝐷. How are you the Lord 𝐎𝐴𝐿ORD? How are you these two? Well, because you are the high priest representing him. You are the main figure representing him. You'll know that I represent him when I have opened up your graves, O my people, and when I have brought you up out of your graves. Verse 14, and put a new spirit in you, and you will live, and I'll place you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord. Through annihilation, one mind is to be shared by a remnant priesthood who will carry on the legacy of the deity. That's all this is about. The priesthood needs one mind. And to get that one mind going, oppression is needed, destruction is needed, annihilation is needed, and then it can happen. Then you're gonna get the message. You're gonna see who's really in charge here. Zephaniah 3:11-13. In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. Remember the haughty ones? Ease me of mine adversaries. This is the same language from Isaiah, from Malachi, from Zechariah. This is the same priesthood, folks. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people. They shall trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall do no iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. This is the scripted plan of salvation. This is the scripted plan of salvation that is only on the mind of Israel's deity. Nothing else is on their mind. And nothing else is on their mind. They care about only their worship and getting their worship the way it's supposed to be. If it's not matching what's going on in the heavenly sanctuary above, it needs to be handled. If it is defiled in the sanctuary below, it needs to be handled. Because you're violating the one on the throne within that most holy place, And then you're violating the one on the throne of the priesthood in their holy place. It needs to be handled. The cycle and the recurring cycle from Genesis to Malachi concerning the deity of Israel shows that their only thought process is the creation, the determination, the resurrection, and the employment, along with the annihilation and the resurgence of service for denominations. That's it. For priesthood. That's it. This is why these two work together for whatever they're working for the purpose of getting the priesthood out the way, because they're violating what's going on above, and the quote-unquote name above is being perverted below. We're going to destroy them. We're going to annihilate them. We have to. So that by doing so, we can get our name back, and what's going on below can match what's going on above with us. That way the blessings below can continue, and we can continue to feed you as you continue to feed us with your fear and worship and regard. But we do know that they're going to slip up. It's going to happen again. They're going to need to kill them. They're going to need to call the deliverer. They're going to need to receive the same praise again. They're going to receive the same praise again. They're going to lose their praise again. They're going to call another destroyer. They're going to call another deliverer. They're going to get their worship. They're going to lose their worship. They're going to call. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. That's just how this goes. This is the narrative from Genesis to Malachi. And in the midst of that narrative is one, a Nehemiah, a Amos, a Jeremiah, that in these contextual times takes the stance to act as an intercessor on behalf of that last part of the priesthood, for that last part of the priesthood's resurrection. That's all this chapter is about.